Glenn. Why did you do this to us?
I don't know.
The following podcast contains spoilers for All Dogs Go to Heaven. You haven't worked. Oh, I got a notification.
Oh, no, it says James Earl Jones died.
Right after we talked about the Sandlot, we killed him.
What are we doing?
I don't know.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of KFR News Radio. This is your host, Judgement Button, along with your host, Miguel Magusto.
You faked me out with that silence there. I was like, what is going on here?
I got a big brain plan, and it's to cry my eyes out.
Yes. How you doing, Glenn?
Not bad. Got some bad news that we kind of did there in the intro.
Yeah.
Very sad. Fucking the voice of a little generation, shall we say, passed away yesterday as of us recording. And god damn it, man.
Yeah.
Why is time taking all of our strong black men from us like they did last year? It's killing me, man.
I don't know.
James Earl
Time
Jones
is an ever continuing mistress, and she's a skank face hoe. I'll tell you what.
They take other people too, but time's been really weird here lately with who they're taking. It's like, what the fuck's going on? Keeping an eye on you. But yeah, other than that, absolutely tragic news. I'm okay. I'm not too bad.
Yeah. I assume you didn't watch much because it's been less than a week.
You better hold your tongue. I might have watched a few things.
Oh.
Since the podcast that we did last time, I had watched 3 movies, and then, of course, our movie that we will be recording. As we're recording now. The first one I watched, I kind of got on Amazon Prime and was like, I haven't really watched anything on Amazon Prime in a while. Mostly anything, but I have not used that app in God knows how long.
Yeah.
The first one I watched, I came across a Jack Nicholson film and was like, you know what? I actually haven't seen too many of his movies. I'm going to click on this one, which was 5 Easy Pieces. Apparently this movie is catered to everybody as far as ratings go because it's a top-rated movie.
Yep, it's in the 1001 movies you must see before you die, which is why I watched it.
Could not tell you why it's a top-rated movie. I didn't care for it in the slightest. There's not much I liked about it, and if there was anything, I don't remember it already. So
I would say the last 10, 15 minutes are really solid. But not solid enough to make me want to sit through that movie again.
Yeah, there's...
Like, I remember being really impacted by the ending.
Yep.
But then just being like, I wish the other hour 45 minutes wasn't in there because I do not want to watch that again.
Yeah, at the end, I was sitting there, I'm like, I would do what he just did. I would just leave. But, I mean, other than that, the movie, I did not like any part of it.
Yeah.
Pretty much at all.
I think you and I are like the only people that don't like that movie.
I mean, we had never. I mean, I think you mentioned it in bypassing when you were talking about your 1001 movies that you had watched, but I don't think we ever discussed it prior to. So this was never on any type of radar of mine. I just watched it, didn't fucking like it. Jack Nicholson's character is really just a solid piece of shit. Like, somebody sat down on the toilet. Wasn't mushy at all. It was solid.
To be fair, is the point of the movie.
Yeah. And that's fine. But
sometimes we don't need movies about shitty people just because. Because, if you're going to have a movie about a shitty person, they need to have some kind of arc. And I feel like he doesn't really have an arc. At least one that's strong enough to
And he doesn't even have
to
have, like, an arc where he turns good or anything.
Yeah.
Or, like, becomes wholehearted. But, like, they had nothing going at all.
Yeah.
Like, I just watched a guy be like, yeah, just had sex with some women. I'm gonna leave my life now. Mm-hmm. That's all I watched.
Worked on an oil rig.
Yeah, I hated it.
I'm gonna cheat on my.
I can't enjoy
girlfriend
anything
or
in
wife
my
while
life
she's
right
waiting
now.
in the car or something.
I don't know. I didn't like it at all.
Yeah,
and then I followed it up. I followed it up like the next day with. I went back on Amazon. I was like, you know what? I'm going to keep watching some Amazon movies. I followed it up with Passengers with Chris Pratt, Jennifer Lawrence, Michael Sheen, Lawrence Fishburne. I actually liked it more than I thought I would.
Yeah.
I thought it was good. Thought it was a little fun. Did it like super impact me in any way? Like no, but I mean, I just thought it was better than I expected it to be. And it came out in 2016. That feels like it came out 2 years ago, which is insane. Maybe not 2 years ago. Maybe like 6. But so I watched that. That was good. Then I had not watched this movie with you originally because we went to go see The Front Room.
Yeah.
And my family wanted to see this movie. I watched Beetlejuice. Really didn't have to watch that movie, except for I would never have watched this movie had I known it was not going to be this good.
I feel justified in the controversial comments about the first one I made.
I still got to rewatch the first one. It's been a long time.
The first one is more enjoyable than Beetlejuice. Mm-hmm. But like, I don't know if I told you, I was originally planning on going to see the 650 show after we watched The Front Room, and then after we finished recording for The Front Room, it was like 6:20, and there was a 5:50 show, and I was like, honestly, I don't give a shit if I missed the first 3 minutes of this. So I got that, and then I was
think
able.
You really missed anything.
Yeah, I was able to tuck my boys in. So
there you go.
But it was just awkward the whole time. No laughs at all in my theater, which for a 5:50 show on a Thursday was pretty filled.
Yeah,
just not needed. And the thing that pissed me off the most, it's a PG-13 movie. In PG-13 movies, you're allowed one use of the F word.
Yeah,
and they censor it for no reason.
No reason at all.
For no reason at all. It was so stupid. Like, I'm sure the MPAA was like, you got to censor it, else we're going to make this rated R. Like, I'm not necessarily saying it was a Disney option.
I mean, it was weird because they said like shit and a couple other things like multiple times throughout the movie, and then when the fuck was coming around, they just went off. Beep beep.
Yeah, it was so stupid. I was so mad.
There were some genuine moments that I thought like they got a chuckle out of me. Like the first time he started like lip syncing. After the model, I was like,
they overdid that joke though. They overdid it
significantly because there was that, and I was like, oh, that was funny. And then they did a whole sequence of it, and I was just like, all right, this is a little too much. And
the last thing I'll say about it is, of course, Winona Ryder's dad in the first one is played by Jeffrey Jones. Who, for those of you who don't know, Jeffrey Jones was convicted of soliciting a minor for child pornography and possessing child pornography too. There's a whole thing where he
creeper.
Yeah, he's a creeper. So it's obvious why he wasn't in it, but they still showed his image way too often.
They made sure that they were like, don't forget this character.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure unless he signed his likeness away in a contract or something, they have to pay him for showing his picture.
Probably
so it kind of defeats the purpose of him not being in it. Which just saying.
And then they talked about Alec Baldwin's character and the wife whose actress's name I can't remember.
Gina Davis.
Gina Davis. They briefly, very much brushed past their characters and what happened to them, and they just made it like they passed on, and that was the only thing they said about those.
We don't want to explain how they passed on, but they passed on.
But God forbid they put the dad all over this movie. A lot.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
At a certain point, just change the actor. Just change the actor, and then you can still have that character.
People don't care that much. Especially with Jeffrey Jones, people don't care.
Nobody
if
cares.
You change the actor.
But yeah, that was a snooze fest. But I saw it with my family, so I can't be too bad about it, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, no. In my opinion, no movie is a waste of time except for Spring Breakers. But that's
someone's got to watch Ghosted too.
Yeah.
But I'm
not going to watch Christmas.
Other than that, all I watched after that was All Dogs Go to Heaven, which we shall get into a bit after Mike talks about his movies.
Yes. It's only been a week. I saw 4 movies. Front Room, we have a review for that. Beetlejuice, we just talked about that. All Dogs Go to Heaven, we're going to talk about that. And then today with my boys, because my eldest son was getting into a habit of watching a show that's not very educational. And I mean, not to say that what I made him watch is educational, but at least it has substance. And that was Angels in the Outfield. After watching The Sandlot, I was like, I want to watch another 90s kids baseball movie.
Yep.
And honestly, that shit holds up.
I bet.
Like, I was invested. I know how it ends, and I was on the edge of my seat.
That's
JGL,
how good. Right? Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Baby Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Danny Glover, Tony Danza, Matthew McConaughey, Adrian Brody, a bunch of people. It's a solid movie. And Christopher Lloyd too is the head angel.
Yeah, yes,
and
yes.
I was just impressed with how much it holds up, because I also love Rookie of the Year. That doesn't hold up as much. That's a little more aged. I love that movie
too.
I do too, but it's a
little
little
more all the time in middle school.
Yeah, but like I was getting emotional in Angels in the Outfield. It might just be because I have a kid now.
Are you becoming sentimental now?
I'm becoming my father. He's a very sentimental person.
I can see it.
Papa Hicks. The thing they capture the best is like how a fan base will rally around a team. Like, yeah, they'll abandon them when they're bad, which I mean, they're getting paid millions of dollars. You should abandon them if they're bad.
Yeah.
Just to get the ownership in line. And then when they start doing well and like just supporting them, it was a beautiful thing when the whole crowd stands up and does the angel arm flaps for Tony Danza at the end. Mm-hmm. Fantastic. And also Tony Danza's character arc is one of the saddest things ever. And I forgot about that. So yeah, love Angels in the Outfield, but we're not here to talk about this. We're here to talk about another heaven-related thing, and that is All Dogs
Go to Heaven. But only one dog ever came back.
Hi, Charlie.
Hi.
Will you shut up? I'm alive. Charlie, it's really you.
The story of a canine con artist with a second chance at life who became a little girl's only chance for happiness.
I'm an orphan.
A little girl who talks to animals.
Could you please tell me which one of you is going to win today's race?
All Dogs Go to Heaven.
A canine angel, Charlie, sneaks back to Earth from heaven, but ends up befriending an orphan girl who can speak to animals. In the process, Charlie learns that friendship is the most heavenly gift of all. Oh my God. And that makes it a lot more, G-rated than a lot of the things he actually does in the movie, which is hilarious.
Well, they were easier on ratings back then for animated
movies.
movies.
Yeah, significally.
Like, this definitely would be a PG today. There's rarely G movies anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's almost hard to do that.
Yeah, somehow we get more prude as we
Yep.
go on.
Directed by Don Bluth, Gary Goldman, Dan Kjunster, written by Don Bluth, Ken Cromar, and Gary Goldman. Stars Dom DeLuise, Burt Reynolds, Lonnie Anderson, Judith Barcy, Melba Moore, Charles Nelson Riley, Ken Page, Nigel Pegram, and Godfrey Quigley. And don't forget about Vic Tayback. He's in there too. Whole gang, whole sorts. I picked this movie, Mike, because not only did I want to make you cry like a little bitch, I also wanted to make myself cry like a little bitch. This was one of those movies when I was younger. A lot of this podcast is me watching movies that I haven't really either seen before, or I saw parts and was like, maybe I should actually catch up on my childhood and, adult life. So yeah, this was one of those. It recently came up. I was making a list of like medias that made me cry. So like on Goodreads, there's like one book that has made me cry so far. And then Letterboxd, I started updating a lot of my playlists there, or my list there. And then this little fucker came up, and I remembered how sad the ending scene was. And then I recalled about the tragic backstory about the actress who plays Anne Marie. And that just, oh my God, it made me well up. So I had to sit here and I had to watch this goddamn movie for once and for all here.
Yeah.
Had you actually seen it before, right? Or did you see it when you were older?
I watched it one time when I was a kid to the point where I didn't really remember it. Mm-hmm. But I did remember that I didn't really like it as a kid. Mm-hmm. And for some reason, I gave it a 3.5 on Letterboxd before, rewatching it. It has gone down a smidge. Oh, because I still don't really care for it, but we'll get into that. So yeah, I didn't really remember too much of it other than some images, but not too much of the plot, not too much of the performances or anything. Just a lot of the images is pretty much all I remember. Because I think I watched this when I was like. It came out the year I was born.
Yes.
So I feel like I watched it maybe when I was like 3 or 4. And, I've always been opinionated about movies no matter what. I was just like, I don't like that.
This is a thing that I'm doing from now on.
Yeah. So it's, rewatching it, I see why I didn't like it. It's not it's a good movie, obviously. I'm not going to say that it's a bad movie, and it's just not the kind of animated movies that I like.
Yeah.
And I love Don Bluth's other stuff. I love Land Before Time. I love The Fievel Goes West and An American Tail and stuff like that. But for some reason, this is just like, I don't know. I don't know what it is about it. Honestly, it's just I feel like it's pacing because it's a very slowly paced movie.
Yeah, I could see that.
And you know me, pacing is it's
pretty
king
big
to me.
Yeah.
That is my number one thing. Pacing can make or break a movie, and that's not to say movies need to be fast. Some movies that are slowly paced work, and others don't. Some movies that are fast paced work, and then others don't. It's depends on the story and what the story warrants.
I think a huge thing with this too is it felt necessarily kind of like it didn't really have a path as far as what Charlie wanted to do. He obviously he wanted to maybe rebuild his casino and all that and just be like that, but it didn't feel like it necessarily had a structure to what was the end goal, I guess.
Yeah, and I love me some structure when it comes to movies.
We all love some structure.
Main reason I don't really like David Lynch, but I understand the appeal of David Lynch.
Yeah. And to me, I mean, there wasn't necessarily any parts that I really hated, except for one, and it was the gator section.
Did you end up watching the video I sent you?
You sent me a video?
The link I sent you when I said the alligator and All Dogs Go to Heaven is like this clip from Longlegs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and
it was just
Glenn, when you edit this, just put a clip of Nick Cage singing in Longlegs, because this is what the gator reminded me of.
There it is.
Hey! Excuse me. Who are you, and why are you talking to my kid?
Let me in now, and it can be nice. Make me go now, and I have to come back. Not once, not twice, but as many times as I like.
But that section just felt so fucking random.
Yeah, but they needed to set up how they were saved in the end. That's the main reason.
We're jumping ahead a little bit, and that's my fault.
Yeah.
But I feel like a better way they could have done that is, again, I'm sorry, but I feel like Itchy was rounding up a lot of the dogs at the end of the movie, and obviously she speaks to animals. The best way for me, again, this is a kid's movie, but it doesn't need to be all gung-ho and fucking big brain time. But a big way for me is like Itchy could have rounded up all of the fucking animals that Anne Marie befriended, like the dogs. All the dogs were like immediately ready to help. the horses, the rats, all those things. They all could have. I feel like it would have been better instead of maybe even Did she interact with the gator at all? I don't even remember.
The Anne Marie.
Yeah,
I feel like she rides the gator with Charlie.
I'll be honest, I don't remember already.
I'm pretty sure she reluctantly goes along with the gator. I don't think she really wants to though, if I remember correctly.
I feel like it would have been a better way to just kind of scrap the whole gator idea and just be rescued by all the animals she's befriended along the way, and then maybe.
And that's not to knock Ken Page's performance.
No.
It's just
it was just random as hell.
Needed. Yeah.
But like. I feel like that's a better route they could have done. Obviously, they didn't have to do it on the bayou and have a boat there. There could have been a better way for all those animals to save the girl.
I forgot it was on the bayou until the gator.
I had no idea until...
And I'm pretty sure that's the reason they have the gators be like, hey, remember, we're in Louisiana. Yeah. We're in New Orleans.
Yeah, I had no idea until, obviously, the bayou. But I feel like that could have been a way better way to have her rescued and all that. And, maybe it's hard for them to come up with a way to still kill off Charlie in that way. Maybe him being stampeded by, or like being killed by Carface, or something, which is a crazy name, or being killed by Carface.
Scarface.
Yeah, I know, it's just so goofy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like there's a way they could have went about it. That's like my only huge gripe with this movie.
Yeah.
Heartbreak all around every time I heard Judith Barcy's voice. Oh my god,
she had an adorable voice,
so adorable.
Yeah, and the thing I didn't realize, obviously we know we'll touch base on this a little bit, unless you want to get into it. But we all know that Burt Reynolds
depends on what you're about to say.
Burt Reynolds re-recorded his goodbye to Anne Marie, the character, after. Judith was passed. What I didn't know was that Don Bluth had redesigned and animated her character to be more like her, which I read in the trivia on IMDb, which was that's a lot of work. And
that is a lot of work.
That is a huge tribute to her, and honestly, it makes it more heartbreaking because it's as close to watching Judith as you can get in just an animated film, unless you did Loving Vincent or The Peasants today, where they literally film it and then trace over it with oil painting. But they didn't do that for this, at least. I don't know if they did it at all back then, but
I don't know.
Yeah, but it was. It's such a heartbreaking story. I don't know if you want to get into it, but that aspect made it even more heartbreaking.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure almost everybody knows about this story, but it doesn't hurt to talk about it, just to tell you why we're so fucking heartbroken about it.
Honestly, it's the saddest part of the movie. The movie's not that sad. And even when I was a kid, I remember not being that sad watching it, and everyone was like, "Oh, it's such a sad movie."
It definitely makes a huge appeal of the movie. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So obviously, Judith Barcy was an actress who. Was in a lot of projects at a very young age.
Yeah, she played Ducky in Land Before Time.
And had that classic line, yep.
Yep. Jaws: The Revenge. If you've seen that.
Have you guys watched that?
I have.
I have too. But she was in a lot of work at a very young age. And she came from a household where they didn't have a lot of money, and the dad, I'm pretty sure he was a plumber.
I'm pretty sure her parents were Hungarian immigrants too, I believe. Her mom definitely was. I don't know if the dad was. Yeah. But his name was Joseph, spelled like an Eastern European type way. Yeah. So.
And he. Once she started raking in money, he kind of got suspicious that the wife and the daughter were gonna, skedaddle, and he didn't want that. I think there was one trip they went on for, I think it was the Jaws movie actually, and when they came back, I'm assuming he found out that they were actually leaving, and then sadly killed the wife and Judith, and then himself, I believe.
Yes, he did.
And then,
there's more details about it that are way darker.
There's a lot more details.
I don't want to talk about what his mindset was.
Yeah,
obviously, the one thing
I
I'll say,
watered up a little bit.
Yeah, obviously, mental illness and probably alcoholic as well. But that, of course, does not justify what he did at all. Just, it is something that is very obvious, and the police did literally nothing about it. I don't know if they could have. I don't know enough about the story.
I mean, there's not too much they could have done since he already offed everything.
Well, no. Like they called the police about threats that he made, but I don't think leading up to that he actually abused them.
I think
just
he
emotionally.
confided into a friend that he wanted to kill them, and then the friend didn't say shit. I'm sure it was like, oh man, I fucking hate them. I wish I could kill them. Yeah. And then he was like, well, that's weird, but all right, chill out, man.
Rat out your friends if they say shit like that. You could save some lives.
But then I found out that they really didn't have any family, so they were kind of just buried without any gravestones or anything. The mom and the daughter.
Yeah.
And that fucking, I guess years later people found their grave sites and then got gravestones put on for the mom and the daughter.
That's good.
It's just a huge fucking crazy backstory, and it is kind of what makes All Dogs Go to Heaven way more impactful, because it's one of the last works I think she definitely did, but it is like the most tragic that could befit what followed after.
And you can hear the heartbreak in Burt Reynolds' voice in that final scene. Like it's so sad to just with it being an animated movie, there's a chance that they had never even met. I don't know, if they had met, but it's not uncommon for the cast of an animated film to record separately and never meet until the premiere. Yeah. But I'm assuming that he did meet her at some point with how
even
it was.
Even if he didn't, it's
it's a sad story.
It's such a sad story, and in that moment, you're like, this fucking little girl just died.
Yeah, because
how do you not?
Her father
get
was
impacted?
A piece of shit. So.
Yeah, how do you not get impacted by that?
Yeah.
But yeah. So there's that.
Yeah, that made the final scene really work for me.
I'm not gonna lie, the end scene, I cried like a fucking bitch. It has been the most I cried in a long time.
Yeah.
Normally if I do cry during a movie or anything, it's just like a dink and then maybe a dink. I was like dink, 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 dink. Since Guardians 3, but before that it had been a while.
Yeah.
It was fucking heartbreaking. But as for the rest of the movie, I thought it was fun at moments.
Yeah, it's definitely fun. Really, all the issues I have with it are just personal preferences, and mainly with the pacing. And it's just I don't have a problem with the subject matter. I don't have a problem with the story itself. Like you said, it's a little aimless.
Yeah.
But there are fun moments to it. There are fun set pieces. The dogs.
I loved Itchy.
Dom DeLuise. His voice is so much like Richard Kind that I feel like he's the Italian Richard Kind, or rather, Richard Kind is the Jewish Dom DeLuise. So they play very similar characters in their animated works, and I love it.
Yeah. Sorry, I was reading a text.
No, you're fine.
I loved him. I loved Charlie too. To a certain perspective. I did love the growing relationship him and Anne-Marie had too. How she slowly kind of whittled away his hard exterior.
Yeah.
It was like I actually do enjoy this girl's company, and I wish they had more time to kind of peel back his little fucking hard assness to kind of really make that goodbye even more, that as if it wasn't already gut wrenching, but even more gut wrenching.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm glad she never actually saw him die. So that's great. No childhood trauma. We don't need that for kids. Come on. Yeah, I don't know. It's really hard to talk too much about it. Besides, obviously the big part of it. I thought it was still a good movie.
Yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and say that it's a bad movie, because it's not.
Yeah.
it's one of those movies, like, I'm a firm believer that you can love bad movies and dislike good movies. This is one of those for me, where it's like, I acknowledge it's a good movie. I just don't like it because it's just not, the kind of thing I go for in this kind of film.
Yeah.
But, like, yeah, it's still a solid film. I understand why everyone likes it. And I don't expect them to understand why I don't like it. It's just, one of those things. We're all different people. But if you don't get sad at the ending, knowing the backstory of the ending, you are a heartless bastard.
Yeah, what is wrong with you, man? I think I had realized that there was an All Dogs Go to Heaven 2, and I'm not gonna lie, I got really pissed off when I found out about that. And then I read the synopsis. It takes place 50 some odd years after this movie, and Itchy has croaked. I was getting real pissed. I'm like, if they brought these two characters back, and they're not like. It's kind of like a kick in the face of everything that happened. Yeah. With Judith Barcy's character and everything. I'm like, that's so fucked. Yeah. But luckily, I calmed down a little bit, and it takes place like a while afterwards. So I still think they shouldn't have made another one, but I don't know, if a first movie does well and they see dollar signs, they were probably like, yeah, let's fucking do another one. Yeah. No matter the backstory of what happened. Yeah. Is what it is, I guess. I probably won't watch that movie, but
I definitely won't because I didn't like this one.
I feel like I might have watched that movie in the past, but I'm not going to now. So yeah. So there's that. Yeah, I don't have too much else to say.
Let's see if I have anything else to say. Nothing that would be appropriate for what after we just talked about it.
I mean, we could literally talk about all the trivias that are in there, but it's kind of not.
No, yeah, I think it's like I said, it's a solid film. I understand the hype around it, especially for people our age. It's just, I'm a big fan of good pacing, and I personally feel like this isn't well paced. Yeah, but I'm not. Whenever it's a movie that I acknowledge is good, but I don't like, I always give it a 3, and that's what I give this, 3 out of 5. Because I'm not gonna, review bomb it. Not that one review really makes a difference, but I'm not gonna add to negativity around it. Oh, battery's exhausted because I didn't like it, so I'm gonna switch out this battery real quick. Glenn, do you want to do a little dance? Everything's falling apart. I hope I didn't just break my camera. Oh no. Oh my goodness. Oh my god. Oh. Okay, I think we're... Are you laughing at me?
You didn't hear what I did you?
No, I didn't. I didn't have my headphones on.
I did the Michael Jackson kick that he does. Yeah. And my sandal went flying, bounced off the wall, hit a candle, and fucking hit the ground and shattered.
Was that before or after my camera fell over?
It was right before you did.
You knocked my camera over. I was just thinking there's no reason this camera should have fallen over just now. Not really. There's the weight
glass
distribution was all
everywhere right now.
Okay, well let's wrap this up. Yeah, I don't have anything else to say really.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. So, that does it for our review of All Dogs Go to Heaven. That brings us to the judgment. As always, it needs to be a unanimous decision whether that goes to the KFR Shuffle, the likes of Apostle and Handmaiden. Glenn, this was your pick, so you get to go first. Does All Dogs Go to Heaven make it on the KFR shelf?
It does. It does. Any movie that really makes me cry, kind of warranted right onto that shelf. Sorry if you felt otherwise there, bucko, but I don't know. For the backstory, for the tears, I think it goes on the shelf. As of itself as a movie, I think it was good. I didn't think it was like exceptionally like crazy good. It could have been even sadder in my opinion, and had a better structure to the story. And then I would have been like fucking going all over the place, running in circles, breaking down candles. But alas, it's mainly the backstory of the movie and that fucking gut punch at the end that really seals the deal.
I would agree wholeheartedly. I think it goes on the shelf for the backstory 100% alone. Like, this movie would have had to be really bad for me to not put it on the shelf, and it just wasn't. It was just solid. So yeah, I think it goes on the shelf as well.
No, there we go.
Yes. So, All Dogs Go to Heaven makes it onto the KFR shelf with the likes of Apostle and Handmaid, and that brings us to next episode's film. We are jumping in. I know you're thinking, hey, wait a second. We're jumping in to our Spooktacular Spooktober of 2024. I know what you're thinking. Mike, aren't you usually the first one that does this, the first one that picks it? But we're doing every other week now instead of every week.
We're skedaddling up a bit.
We're skedaddling up a bit. So we are going to start Spooktacular Spooktober 2024 with Streaming Roulette. Ooh. So without any further ado, wait, hold on, Mike. It's been a while since you've done this. For those of you who don't know, the way the Streaming Roulette works is we spin a very real wheel with only horror movies on it. It's the size of Providence, Rhode Island. We spin it 3 times, and out of those 3 movies, we pick the one that we like the most, and it has to be, at least a year old, and on the streaming service we subscribe to. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you cleaning up glass?
Yep.
Okay. Well, without any further ado, here comes spin number 1. Day of Wrath from 1943. Is this going to be on Criterion Channel? Day of Wrath.
1943?
1943.
God damn, so Albert Einstein's on the cover of this bad boy.
Let's see where we watch this. This is going to be on Criterion Channel.
Is Plex as well, I guess?
Yes. 8.1 out of 10 on IMDb. Whoa. Wow, that's high.
Coming and
1943,
swinging.
hour and 50 minutes. The young wife of an aging priest falls in love with his son amidst the horror of a merciless witch hunt in the 17th century Denmark. That sounds pretty fucking dope.
That does sound pretty good.
Directed by Carl Theodor Dreyer, written by Carl Theodor Dreyer, Paul Knudsen, Paul Lecour. I think this is a Danish movie. It's starring Thorkild Roos, Elisabeth Moven, Sigrid Niendam.
Now we're
Kirsten
definitely in Spain, I think.
For Sigrid? Yeah, that's a very Spanish name, Sigrid. So yeah, I'm not going to butcher any of those names. But yeah, so Day of Wrath on Criterion Channel, 8.10 out of 10 on IMDb, hour 50 minutes. That is our first choice. And here comes a spin. What the Dickens is going on? Okay, I understand. I understand what is happening now. Here comes spin number 2. It's a movie I know we both have seen. It Comes at Night.
Oh, shit. I actually have been wanting to rewatch this, believe it or not.
Me too. This is going to be on HBO Max or Hulu via Max or Prime Video via Max, so you have to have a Max subscription. I have to check with my brother-in-law because last time I tried to get on Max, it said that his subscription had ended, so I have to check to see if we can actually do that.
I mean, you could use mine as well.
I mean, I own it on
that too.
Blu-ray, but it is on Max.
Yeah,
it's
got
just
options.
My movie room is currently null and void.
Yeah.
6.2 out of 10 on IMDb. I have things to say about that. Hour 31 minutes. Secure within the desolate home of an unnatural threat I butchered that. Secure within a desolate home as an unnatural threat terrorizes the world. A man has established a tenuous domestic order with his wife and son, then a desperate young family arrives seeking refuge. Written and directed by Trey Edward Schultz, starring Joel Edgerton, Christopher Abbott, Carmen Ejogo, Riley Keough, Kelvin Harrison Jr., the very underrated Kelvin Harrison Jr., and Griffin Robert Faulkner, Mikey the dog. So this is going to be on HBO Max. It Comes at Night. Here comes spin number 3. Oh my God, Glenn, we have such a decision to make.
Are you saying options?
Shin Kamen Rider. I don't know what that is, but it has a samurai on it.
Oh fuck.
Shin Kamen Rider. Is this a horror
is this
movie?
one of the? I don't think so. I think this is.
Okay. Redo. Yeah. That doesn't look like a horror movie. No. Stop. That never happened. Oh, Overlord.
Oh shit.
We do have a choice to make.
Overlord. That's a movie I have not heard about in a minute.
Is that the movie? You don't like that, right? I couldn't remember if that's you or Colin that doesn't like it.
Overlord?
Yeah, or maybe it's someone else completely that doesn't like it. Anyway.
I mean, I think we have a review for it, if I'm not mistaken about it.
Oh, if that's the case, I don't want
I also don't know if we have a review for It Comes at Night. I don't think we do, but...
I don't remember doing one. I feel like I watched that by myself.
It could... No, I watched it. I know that. But whether or not I watched it
let me search these, if I can. How do you search our videos? I'm too old for this.
We do not have an It Comes at Night.
Okay, good.
We actually do not have an Overlord either.
Okay, yeah, I think that came out when you were in the Virginia, or had just gotten back from Virginia.
Yeah.
So yes, 6.6 out of 10 on IMDb. It's going to be on Paramount Plus, it looks like. Is there something else? Apple,
Tubi, Pluto, and then some other ones.
Oh yeah, Tubi, Pluto, Paramount Plus, Canopy, Roku. So yeah, it's on some of the free stuff.
Mm-hmm.
A small group of American soldiers find horror behind enemy lines on the eve of D-Day. Directed by Julius Avery, written by Billy Ray and Mark L. Smith, starring Jovan Adepo, Wyatt Russell, Matilda Olivier,
I
probably.
Why it was in this?
Pilu Asbek, John Magaro, who is the MVP of the movie Past Lives, by the way, and then many others. Yes, because beyond those free channels. So we have Overlord, we have Day of Wrath, and we have It Comes at Night. We do have a decision to make. I am loving these picks here. Excuse me.
Oh, bless thee, brother. Bless thee.
Are you leaning one way or the other?
Big old Glenn here is leaning either mostly towards It Comes at Night and Day of Wrath. I'm kind of split between the two. I could go either way. I could rewatch It Comes at Night, or, I might even pick it for a future one. Who knows?
Who knows?
Overlord, I remember watching and not feeling as high as you were about it.
That's fair. I really like Overlord.
Yeah. But, then again, you could pick it and we could discuss it. I'm not against any of these to review.
Man. The film nerd in me wants to watch Day of Wrath. I might just add that to myself. I feel like for our audience, It Comes at Night or Overlord is probably best. And with what you said, maybe we should just do It Comes at Night.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
If it comes, it comes.
Oh, it's coming.
I know I'll be there.
Yes. So, I'm going to have to add Day of Wrath onto my watch list. But It Comes at Night is our assignment for next episode. Again, you can watch that on HBO Max and rent it as well if you want.
I'm going to try and help your new family.
I want to thank you again for letting us stay here.
Just going to run through a few things. When we go out during the day, we like to stick to groups just for safety. The red door, it's the only way in and out of the house. It stays closed and locked all the time. I have the keys. It's the only set. Most important thing...
What's he see? It's okay. Just go inside.
We never go out at night.
The door was already open when you got there.
Yeah.
Then who opened it?
Thank you, everyone.
everyone for listening and watching. As always, you can check out our website, www.keystonefilmreview.com. On Instagram, we are Keystone_film_review. Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Keystone Film Review. And on Letterboxd, I am Mike KFR.
And I'm Glenn KFR.
And that will do it until next week when we talk about a movie that is very polarizing. Yeah. People seem to love it or hate it. And I'm not going to tell you which side I'm on. I love it. I love it so much.
Maybe he does. Maybe I don't.
Yeah,
Who
maybe
knows?
he doesn't.
But until then.
Yes.
I'm going to clean up some fucking glass.
I'm going to make sure my camera's definitely not broken.
Oh, God.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Oh, the glass noise.
Oh, it's so much.